In the past, we have discussed the use of a management procedure for supplementing cows, and that's the concept that we call interval feeding, where we take the supplement out not every day, but every other day. However, we've not given much thought to using that same concept for young growing replacement heifers. Now, this is something that I think we can consider if we're in one of those ranching operations where we have the replacement heifers at a location that's quite a ways away from the headquarters, and we're going to have to spend quite a little time and gasoline taking the supplement to those heifers. University of Florida did some research on interval feeding of weaned replacement heifers and had a very positive outcome. What they did, they took 60 heifers, half of them were fed the supplement, which in this case was about 4 pounds of dried distiller's grains plus a half a pound of soybean meal. They fed it to them on an everyday basis. The other half of the heifers got exactly the same amount of supplement per week, but only fed at 3 different times, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. As they followed those heifers through this growing program, they had identical amount of average daily gain, about 1.8 pounds per head per day. As they then took the heifers into and through the breeding season, they had very similar results in terms of the heifers that responded to ester synchronization. Their AI pregnancy rates due to the first service was very similar, and the final pregnancy rates, again, were virtually identical. This shows me that if we have that situation where we have some young heifers that we're growing that are located several miles from where the feed is, we can save some of those gasoline and labor dollars by feeding every other day. Now, if we're using one of the ethanol byproduct feeds like they did here, distilled grains, I would certainly recommend that we check the sulfur content, because there is the possibility of feeding that large amount at a given time that we could create some sulfur toxicity. Dried distiller's grains aren't as competitively priced as they were several years ago, so we may be using some of the more common feed ingredients such as wheat midds and soybean meal. But I think if we can keep this concept in mind as we take care of these replacement heifers this year, in some instances we can save some gasoline dollars and some labor dollars. And we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.